Hey, so we just went and saw the Joker movie. Me and my wife did. I wanted to do a quick little review on it because I thought that I might start doing some reviews on the channel, and I thought what better way to start doing some of those with this movie right here. Everybody's talking about the Joker movie. Everybody's gonna have their opinions on it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm pretty picky on what I think is a good story in a movie. You have to have more than just like visuals and all the cake and ice cream in a movie for me to say it's a good movie. I'm going to tell you all, from a storyteller standpoint, this was a work of art. This movie is an absolute work of art. This is probably the best movie I've seen this year, and me and my wife, we try to watch like all the Oscar kind of contender movies, and then also all the summer blockbusters and stuff like that. This was a work of art, and I'm not going to say by far. There were some good movies that came out this year, but this was, for me, head and shoulders the best film that I saw this year. I'm going to try to keep this as non-spoiler as possible, but there may be some small spoilers in this, so if you're sensitive to that, go ahead and check out right now and come back and check it out once you've seen the movie if you want to. Strap in. We're going down the rabbit hole. I want to really pick this thing apart for about 5-6 minutes. First off, the first thing I noticed about this movie, me and my wife, we came out of this movie, we looked at each other and we go, when can we see this again? You know, my wife not big into comic book movies. That's just not her thing. She's more of a classical movie lady. She likes the classics, which I can get down with. And she's done some film work and stuff before, so that's kind of her forte. She came out of this movie and said, this was amazing. She said this was just the best movie I've seen this year, and I agree with her. But right from the start, I could tell that this was masterfully directed, and the cast was incredible. Starting at the top with Joaquin Phoenix, and then everybody else who filled their roles throughout the movie did a dynamic job. This movie had so many different layers to it, and I think that's what made it feel so grounded and so in our world, because I've seen a lot of people like reviewing the movie and like just random people online hating on the movie. Imagine that, right? They were saying that, oh, the violence is too much. It's going to incite people to do this or that. I don't get that, because we obviously didn't watch the same movie, if that's what you think. This movie showed kind of like, there's an old movie called Falling Down. You ever watch that movie? It's kind of like, that's the vibes I got from this in this movie. You start with Arthur Fleck, who becomes the Joker. He's a sweet guy trying to do good things or whatever. He has some mental illness issues, as does his mother, and it plays a role throughout the story. And there are so many different layers to this story. One of which is mental illness, and how our society is still to this day unequipped to help these people that are less fortunate. And that plays in, and then there's a lot of social inequality that plays into the story as well. So you start with Arthur, who, brick by brick throughout the first act of the movie, he's being torn down and torn down and torn down by society, by the society around him. And you sympathize with that. The guy can't get a break. You really feel it. Anybody who's had a bad day, or a bad week, or a bad year, or whatever, you totally resonate with what is going on with this character. So, throughout the course of the movie, you see the transformation into this monster. Like, as you kind of start to see how his mentality is changing, how his ideology is changing towards society and toward people. You get it, but once he becomes the monster of the Joker, that is when you go, all right, look, I get where you're coming from. Probably shouldn't handle things this way. So if you're watching this movie and you're a critic, and you say this is going to incite people to do these things, I think you should stop being a critic, because you obviously did not get what the filmmaker was doing. The filmmaker was showing how you can take a good person, put them in a bad situation, and break them down, but making the wrong decision. This is a story of right and wrong, of good and evil, really, you know. And then when the movie flips and does the turn, and I'm not going to spoil that turn for you, because if you watch the movie, you're gonna kind of know where that is. You get it, and you're meant to get it. And I feel like the director means for you to get it. And so I thought the way the story played out was great. There is like a lot of like little nods to the Joker. There's a couple of nods I noticed visually with them going back to kind of the Heath Ledger Dark Knight, like Joker, like some scenes, some shots in that, and then some fun Jack Nicholson stuff in there. I mean, it's a hodgepodge of the different types of Jokers we've gotten throughout the years. There's even like some fun, quirky, like Cesar Romero kind of stuff in there, you know. So I thought that was really well done, how they handled Joker. Everybody's seen the trailer. The scene where Joker has his first face-to-face with Bruce Wayne, man, that was awesome. Man, that was awesome. To steal a wrestling term, I marked out. I had a huge nerd out moment for that moment, because my ears seemed to catch a hint of the old Tim Burton score when the first time you see Bruce Wayne from behind watching Arthur in front of his house, you know. And I'm not gonna ruin for you why Arthur is at the Wayne Manor, but that's a big plot point in the story. I thought that was great. And then Thomas Wayne was painted to be a huge prick in this. He was just like another rich guy running for office. And I'm not a Batman historian or aficionado, but in everything I've seen Thomas Wayne depicted in, he's kind of been depicted as like a saint, like a good dude, you know. But I guess this is kind of told from the less fortunate standpoint and their point of view, and I guess he wouldn't look like such a great dude, you know. But that's for you to decide. That's for the viewer to decide. I always thought that Thomas Wayne was a different kind of dude, you know. So, but all in all, I felt like this movie really did such an amazing job of painting an origin for the Joker and really giving it gravity and making you feel that character. And the way they made you feel the transformation of this character, it hits you in the chest. It really does, because it makes you question your own self. It makes you question, what would I do? What would I do in this situation? I think great art makes you question your own self. And I think this movie does a good job of that. It makes you think, what would I do in this situation? The Joker has famously been a character who you agree with. Like, you'll be watching a movie with the Joker in it, and you go, that's bad. But they had that coming. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I wish I've had days where I wanted to do that, you know? And I think that's what the Joker does in movies. It gives you that vent. Of course, we live in a civilized society. You don't want to do that. You know, we know harming others for those things is wrong. But in the confines of the Joker and what he is, he represents anarchy. The slow degrade from someone trying to hold it together and live a responsible life and do the right thing, down to the person who embodies anarchy and not caring, is so masterfully done. It's just, I mean, really don't have a lot of words for it. You gotta go see it. You gotta see this movie. You gotta check it out. For me, this is I don't give star ratings. I don't do that. I'm not that guy. I just give you my opinion. But if I had to give it like a 5 out of 5, that's what it is. This is a 5 out of 5 movie. Like, it's probably a bad spot to start my reviews on, but it really is. It's 5 out of 5. I think what they did was brilliant. I think the shots were beautiful. The shots of, and it was this grimy, nasty, dirty, poor, impoverished Gotham. And then you've got, you know, the horrible things that the Joker did and that he does throughout the movie. The violence, it's Joker. You know, I mean, if you go to this movie to see a Joker movie, you know what you're getting. You know who the Joker is. You know people are going to get randomly blasted. They're going to randomly get killed out of nowhere. He's going to laugh about it. It's the Joker. If you go in expecting anything else, you probably don't need to go see the movie because you don't know what you're going to see. I think this is probably the best Joker movie we could have gotten, you know, as far as an origin story. There was a shot at the end of it, I'm not going to give anything away again, but there was a shot at the end where he's standing on a police car. He does like his smile, you know, he paints his smile on the way it should look for kind of the first time. And I was like, oh, we've only got like 5 or 10 minutes left. Can we please get another movie with Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker? That was what I was thinking on that scene, and it left me wanting more. It left me wanting more. And for movies these days, I don't get that way a lot, you know? So for a movie to pull that off and to have all the subtle layers that it did, like with the commentary on the real society that we live in today, with this fictitious character, with this you know, lust for anarchy, it depicted everything so beautifully, and it tied in some Batman lore in a way that I think is probably the best I've seen it portrayed in a movie yet. So 5 out of 5. This is an amazing movie. This is a work of art. This is a masterstroke. I'm gonna leave it at that, though. I don't, you know, I'm not a movie critic. I'm not a critic of any kind. I just, you know, I tell you what I see, what I feel, my thoughts on things, and I thought this was just a masterwork. So, you know, great job. Top marks to everybody involved with this film. I'm gonna see it again. I can't wait to see it again, and I hope you all enjoy the video. If you want to see me do some more reviews, maybe where I'm not so tired. It's been a long day. I'm tired. But if you want to see me do some like movie reviews of any kind, drop a comment down there. Let me know if you dig the review. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. For those of you who are subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Shout out to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate, you know, you all taking the time to watch my content. It really makes me feel good. I'm glad you all are enjoying everything you're seeing. And I will catch you all in the next video. So until then, keep rocking, and I will catch you all down the road. Have a good night.